Hey guys, welcome to Getting Over It. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode.
You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or watch us on YouTube. Hello and welcome back to Getting Over It. So I'm Ellie.
And I'm Lucy.
And today we are talking all about toxic friendships, which I feel like so many of us can relate to.
Yeah.
I definitely can. You definitely can.
100%. I could write the book on toxic friendships.
Absolutely.
Like-
It's just, I don't know about you, but like, I have always, ever since my first experience of toxic friendships,
Yeah.
I have avoided those type of situations like the plague.
100%.
Like big friendship groups and stuff like that. Oh, it's just such a red flag for me. I just can't do it.
The big friendship group thing. I can't do it. I feel like for our listeners, we've all been through this, and I feel like you're going to be able to relate. And if you're going through it right now, hopefully just like talking about it can just like help you get out of the situation easier or avoid it. I feel like it comes with age as well, though, because I feel like starting out, we all go through it in high school, toxic friendships. That's like, I feel like your first starting one.
Experience of
you
it.
do petty things in primary school, but it's not really on a deeper level until at high school, I feel like. But yeah. You are more immature with it, I feel like, and petty things annoy you.
Yeah.
But then as you've got older, like me now as well, like you say, you kind of just ignore it.
You avoid it.
Drama because there's nothing worse.
No, absolutely not. There is nothing worse than a toxic friendship, and it can manifest itself in so many different ways of what it is. But anytime that it happens and you've got a friend or a group of friends that are toxic, it's so bad, I think, for your mental health and the way you see yourself. And I just think, obviously, we're going to talk all about it, but if you've got friends that make you feel like this, or you need to just cut them out.
Yeah, your friends shouldn't be making you feel about yourself.
Absolutely not. I think there's such red flags like that you can look for. It's almost like in a relationship when you look for red flags.
I feel like girls are so on it with looking for red flags in boys, but we're not so on it with looking for the red flags in girls. But like choosing your like friendship for life is like choosing a partner for life. And I think that's what you don't realise when you're younger is you can not be like, so you can be friends with someone and they can be the right friend for that time in your life, and then you can move on just like you would with a relationship. But we get it in our heads, and I have definitely always done this, like not so much now because I've just learned, but I've always thought my best friend's going to be my best friend for life, and then it's so awful when they're not.
Yeah.
But it's like you need to just learn that it's just someone else in your life for that time.
It's
if
not always realistic.
It doesn't work out.
Exactly. Sometimes it's like a convenience thing, like when you go to school together, like your friends at school, and those relationships aren't always gonna last into adulthood, but the right ones will, or if not, you'll make amazing friends in adulthood. Like some of the friends I've made since TikTok.
Oh yeah.
It's
well,
like,
we're friends through TikTok.
Yeah. You make friends, and it doesn't matter how long you've known a person. It's about that person's intentions for you.
No, exactly.
And
are they always
nice.
happy for you when you've got good news? Are they there for you when you've had bad news? I feel like something you learn with growing older as well, like you don't need to talk every day. That is something like a high school thing, isn't it? Like, oh my God, they didn't text me today. Whereas like as you get older, it's like, yeah, I might speak to you in like, I don't know, 1 to 5 working days, or I might speak to you in 6 months.
Yeah,
we're still friends. And if you really do need me, pick up the phone, I'm there.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's what you just learn along the way. So let's start from the beginning. I feel like toxic friendships, back in my day, obviously, like, I think now toxic friendships start from, like, the group chat.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an element of it, 100%.
But, yeah, like, back in the day, like, I'm going to say it, I'm a gal, like, we all get jealous and insecure. And I feel like that's just how toxic friendships start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jealousy and insecurity.
Absolutely. I totally get what you mean. I mean, I think it's that thing where there's like a group chat and maybe you're not in the group chat, or maybe they make a separate group chat about you. And like I've had it with friends before where it's been like, oh my God, like, can you believe that thing that was sent in the group chat?
And you're like, they're like, what group chat?
Exactly. And I was always that friend, like always, like growing up, like taking it back to school.
Yeah. When you're the last to find something out, it hurts.
Yeah, I
should it hurt as much as it does? Maybe not, but it hurts.
It does. It really hurts, and it shapes the way that you see relationships for the future. Because, like, I probably don't trust girls as much as I should do because of my experiences, like at school, and just always being like the last to know, and always being in the friendship group, but always being the one that if they had to chuck someone in front of a bus, it would be me. Do you know what I mean? That's a very harsh like way to put it, but it's true.
If someone had to go, it's Ellie.
If
Ellie's gone.
If someone's got to die, if
Ellie's
someone
under the
says
bus.
we want to kidnap one of you, they're saying take Ellie. We don't even like her anyway. Honestly, that is how it was, and I think that really can define the way you see yourself around girls in the future. I don't know what you think, but
yeah, it's weird how you said how you see yourself, because I actually I'll open up on this. Mm-hmm. One of my biggest insecurities in life, is girls liking me,
me too,
friendship wise, and I've experienced it all my life, so it's something that I've just had to reflect and grow with, and I do now act a certain way towards girls because of this and how it's all gone about. But I am just and naturally, always have been, always will be. I'm very loud, very confident in myself and who I am.
Yeah, but as you should be.
And it doesn't bode well with a lot of girls. Okay. And I've had to learn the hard way. To this day, my best friends that I have now, every single one of them has said to me, when I first met you, or when I first saw you, so one I met in college, the rest was uni. So the first day you walked into that uni hall, or the first day I saw you walk into drama class or whatever it was, they were like, I thought you were going to be an intimidating. They were like, they were like, thought you were going to be a. You walk in there, you've got your outfit. I've always got an outfit plan. They're you're walking in there. Good. You're flicking your hair. You're not walking in a room thinking and looking around and thinking what people. You're the main character walking into a room, and you're so confident about it, and you honestly just think you're gonna be. And then they're like, it couldn't be more from the truth. Yeah. And my friends always say to me, it kind of always makes me think, I'll never judge a book by its cover, because they always say you're the example of that, because they were once you're your friend, but my friends say always come to you for advice. You're one of the nicest, loveliest girls ever. If you really do have your friends back if we're going through stuff. So, but I've always had to juggle that. Mm-hmm. And because I've had friendships end in the past, I think because of that, me just being this really confident, outgoing gal that wears what she wants, does what she wants. I'm not insecure about a lot of things. I'm very confident about a lot of things, and I don't show my insecurities. Whereas I feel a lot of girls are insecure and do compare themselves to people, because I've done it as well. Yeah. I'm talking obviously now from the other side, but I have been on the other side of it as well. But I'm not big-headed in saying this. I'm really trying to choose my words carefully, but a lot of my friendships, I think, have ended from jealousy of. I'm not even saying they're jealous of me. Maybe more of how I carry myself and how I can be so. Well, who I am, and they don't like it.
It can be an insecurity, because for me, if we take this situation, I'm probably someone who's a bit more anxious, a bit more insecure. I am confident, but being around someone like you, I might feel insecure because you're so confident, and so you're self-assured, and that's brilliant. But if you're not like that, sometimes it can maybe be a bit intimidating.
Yeah, and I completely do get that and understand that. And I always say, I don't know how people survive without sisters, because my sisters have got me through a lot of these things, and your sisters can be really honest with you. And to be honest, I've had just friends really f me over, which we'll get it more deeper into later on in the episode, but my sisters have just always been there for me, and I put it out on my socials all the time, how do people live without sisters? But they can be honest with you, and they do sit me down, and they say because they're more anxious. They say, we don't know where you get this confidence from. You are just amazing, someone that's
it's really good,
so self-assured, and you just who you are, but they're also very much but you can also self-reflect. Yeah. But they say to me, they're look, if I was your mate, sometimes I'd just be and they say as well, no, you are kind of that annoyingly person that's kind of good at most things as well. Yeah. And you do get picked for so they're growing up in high school, Lucy, we understand why people would want to be your friend. You got every trophy going, you were at every you were the nerd, you were putting your hat, you knew everything, you were clever, you were getting they're I'd be thinking this girl, I would be thinking
this girl.
So then I feel
I'm moving schools.
I'm moving. She's made me move schools. Well, I'm not even trying to big myself up, but I'm it's something that I've always had to deal with and I've always had to be conscious of, which is so weird that I have to be conscious of it.
I think as girls, it's like you can't be too loud or you can't be too this or too that or too confident in yourself because people see it, they'll take it from you as a negative. Whereas if a guy was saying, oh, I'm really good at this and I'm really good at that, and a guy walked into a room and could conduct a room, that's not a problem. But
guys would probably be looking at that guy in awe.
Exactly.
Whereas girls are looking at the girl of like, and I feel like now how I am with new friends and just meeting people in general, because I'm so self-aware that every friend in my life has said like I come across like an intimidating. I feel the minute I open my mouth when I talk to someone, I'm a nice person anyway, but I'm finding myself be overly nice. And I just do that naturally now, and it is a knock-on effect from all these comments and things like that. And I think that's why I do like overdo the whole like being a really good friend, because it's like I'm not having anyone turn around and be like, oh yeah, she's just that like, it's like because it's like, no, I'm a good friend. You've just got to, you know, like, yeah, like I am who I am. But I just think as well, and now I've got older, like, if you like me, if you don't, you don't.
Yeah.
And I do, and I have found myself as well now, like, I like to be friends with people that like themselves. Like, that there's no, I'm not really, like, the minute someone starts showing insecurity and, like, the whole, like, I think it's going to go down that route, I'm kind of, like, done. I don't want the drama. So I like to be friends with people that are so confident in themselves. They're in the mirror taking selfies, in love with themselves, and it don't matter what you're doing because they're just focused on them.
Okay, I'm gonna leave.
No. No, but then there's also just like being nice people.
I think what it is.
And you are a lot. You are.
I am
confident.
a wonderful, amazing. Oh, I thought you was gonna.
No, you are confident. You don't give yourself enough.
No,
I am. Like, you're not the jealous type. You've never once shown me.
No.
You've never once given me the vibe of like.
Well, I think it's
we're happy for each other.
Yeah, I think this is it. You can get different personality types, and you can get people that are maybe a little bit quieter, a little bit louder. But it's the way those people deal with the other person. You know, if you're someone that sees someone that is so happy with the way they look today, and you think, oh, what a stuck up because she thinks she looks good.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
You know, that's
where the problem comes in.
I just think your friends should be hyping you.
Absolutely,
up.
It's such a red flag if you tell them good news about yourself and they're not happy.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
They're not truly your mate.
Absolutely.
Well, honestly, anytime one of my like best mates has told me good news, I am literally just like, I voice note them screaming like, oh my God, like, yes, this is so good. Like, I'm so happy for you. And like, I don't know how you felt about starting TikTok, but the people that were cheering you on versus the people that weren't cheering you on.
Yes, absolutely.
Does make you see differently, doesn't it?
It does, because I think some people want you to fail.
Yeah.
There are people out there that want you to fail, that will pretend to like you. But I feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm a very good judge of character. Yeah. And as much as I'll be polite to anyone unless they actually cross me, then I will speak my mind. But I will be polite, even if I think, no, you're a red flag. I will still be polite to them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't invite them into my inner circle, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't be sharing all my secrets.
I am too trusting.
Do you think?
Guys, I am so closed off. There's 1,000 doors up. Girls,
like, come on,
and I think and I think I open up so much to girls straight away, and I'm so honest off the get go, and I'm so nice and overly nice. And I think again, it just comes from this thing of like wanting them to like me and not think I'm a. So yeah, I open up. I give them the world. And then I always get screwed over. But then. Yeah, there's only actually one time I've left a friendship. Every other friend I've lost, and I've lost a lot, has been because they've left me. And you do it. There was a moment, like college was really the one where it got me, like, and you think I'm the common denominator. These people are leaving me. So like I'm the problem. And for a long time, it really even just stopped me opening up to anyone and even wanting to have friends at all. And I just I remember there was a period where that whole year I had one friend and my sisters, and I was eating lunch in the toilets.
That's
and
so
in my
sad.
car.
Yeah.
Because I was just I can't so my college experience started college with my god sister in a way. We'd been been on holidays. So, like, we called each other cousins.
Yeah.
And then my best friend from high school as well joined, and that we joined together. Met some other girls. We were this massive group for the year.
Yeah.
Since like the first couple of years of high school, it was my first real experience of having a girl group. Because I'd always been that girl not really having the girl group. And thinking, oh my God, this is it. This is going to survive. This is like,
you do.
yeah. Oh my God. Like, it just, so the girl that was like my god sister and my best friend from school became like best mates. Instantly, I definitely probably reacted badly. I'm no angel, but I just got so insecure about it because they started not inviting me to things.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, well, why won't we just do it as a 3?
That's
obviously
not
now
nice.
I'm older. They can do things. But then it was the fact that it was never getting mentioned. Yeah. It was like they were doing it in secret, hiding it from me. Which then you just think, well, why aren't you... What, like, so you're purposely like talking about meeting up without me? Like, why... You could mention it, and then if I wanted to come, I could say, but you were obviously... I was never getting invited. Like, there's no intention. So then that really, really, really got to me. And then I found out very quickly that just one of the girls in the group was just... because she bitched about everyone else when they weren't there. So then I was just like, well, you're obviously going to be bitching about me when I'm not there. So I kind of never fully got invested in her anyway. And then there was one other one from the friendship group who we just then, because that whole thing with the other two happened, they became best friends. Me and her just got really close and we had a really good summer. So, and then to be fair, throughout the summer, we kind of all patched it up. We grew up and spoke to each other. And then got back to college for the second year. This girl that I'd been the closest to all summer, literally first day of college decided she hated me. Just literally decided she hated me. It's like she got all these other girls.
Yeah.
To just like, and she like got it fueled because I'm sure she like explained things that got said in the summer and this and that and about, oh, Lucy does this and blah, blah, blah. I can only imagine the things she was saying to these girls. They all just stopped talking to me. So first week of college back, I'm like, oh, my girl group, we're back, like, we're all fine. Everything's got sorted in the summer. We're all close again. None of them speak to me. Like, just none of them speak to me.
That's
One
horrible.
day, this is actually so bad. I left the table because I was like, none of them were saying why they weren't speaking to me. Yeah. And it was so, you know, when you're like really trying to like speak to people and they're just being, but none of them were being like kind of leave the group. So I was like still hanging out with them because I was just trying to figure it out. I never knew it was like as deep as it was. I went to the toilet one day and I thought I was texting my sister. I was like, X.
Yeah.
Isn't talking to me, and I feel like she's making everyone else not talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling really sad about it. I sent it to X, didn't I? By accident.
No, that's the worst.
And so I got back to the table. She literally, for people like actually watching, was like this, like,
oh my gosh. Like,
she was ready to have beef. Yeah, they were all staring at me. I was like, oh my God. They went in. They literally just was like, we don't like you. You're so loud. You do this, you do that, blah, blah, blah. We don't want anything to do with you. I was literally sat there in tears like, what have I even done? And it wasn't like they were naming things that had done bitchy, like that had been bitchy. They were naming things about my personality that they just didn't like.
Yeah.
So I was like, this is horrible.
There's no need for that, even if you don't like someone.
Yeah.
Like, unless they've done something to you.
It was awful. I then had to just spend the whole year watching them be a girl group, me just having like no friends. Like,
so sad.
Yeah, and that's when I was just like, I like literally for a year was like, I'm just like, didn't talk to anyone.
Yeah.
I just didn't talk to anyone. I was like, oh my God, I'm a horrible, because it's kind of like a breakup. You know, you blame yourself and you're like,
you do.
Oh my God, I need to be like this and I need to be like that. And I feel like learning curve, you always take lessons out of it. I've definitely tried to be like, okay, like going into friendships now, like I'll try and be less like loud. I'll try to be less.
But at the same time, you shouldn't have to do that.
Yeah, you shouldn't change yourself because like a true friend is going to love you for you.
Yeah.
And obviously I know that now, but back when I was, how old are you in college? 16, 17, 18? I don't even know.
Yeah, 17.
It really hit me and I was like, oh my God, like, wow, people don't like me.
But that's not the thing. It's just not the right people, and at the same
not the right
as
people
well.
for
Like
you.
I say, it's mean girls. Like girls can be so horrible. Like I've had similar things where, you know, there'd be like they'd all go out somewhere, like to town. They'd all go to town, and then they'd start talking about it, and I'd be like, I remember I rang one of them once, and I'm like at home all ready to go, thinking we're all going to town together, like to the cinema, and then I ring one of them. and they're like, oh, I'm just on the way back. Like, I've been waiting all day. And it's just things like that. And
it's
honestly,
the little things that really do get to you.
It shapes you. It shapes you as a person
does.
forever. And it shapes the way that you approach relationships. And it's just, if you're in school or you're in college or whatever, and you're one of those girls that's being mean like that, you don't understand the effect that's going to have on that girl for the rest of their life.
For the rest of your life.
Really
I'm not even making it a bigger issue than it is, but it does affect you for the rest of your life.
100%. And it's like, it's just crazy. Like, when I went to uni, so obviously I'd done college, and I did have my, like, close friendship group at college, but it had kind of broken off from a bigger friendship group from school where everyone split in two, or actually we were like a smaller group that came off because of me, because that half of the group didn't like me. And so I felt already like I was a burden on these friends that had stayed with me. Yeah. And then maybe I was a bit of a nerd at college, and I'm still a bit of a nerd. And maybe those friends,
up to the nerds.
Those friends didn't want to do the things I wanted to do, so they would kind of do stuff together, which was fine because I wasn't into it. And then I went to uni, and like, I remember going to uni, and I just sat in my lectures on my own. I sat in the seminars on my own for like a good month or so. Yeah. And then eventually I had a girl come up to me in the lecture called Jess, who's now one of my best friends.
That's so nice.
And she just came up to me and she's like, you're sat on your own, so I just want to come and sit with you.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God, she actually likes me. And I was prepared to spend my entire uni experience just sat on my own because I didn't want to feel that rejection.
Yeah. And it is rejection you feel, like, and I think it's like, just from listening to you then, like, what I've realised is, like, in high school, college, you take the problem, like, the problems that people have and, like, their behaviour so personally. I think that's why it sits with you so much. But now I'm thinking in, like, my friends now, if something happens, I just feel like I'm mature enough to be like, look, this has happened, where was my invite? Or like, blah, blah, blah. And you don't take it as personally now. But back in the day, I used to take things so personally. Like, but now growing up as well, because I've had it as where, like, maybe friends have felt like I've left them out, but it's just like that you've actually just been talking to someone and organised something. They've mentioned it to someone, then it's been and then, like, someone's gone, like, why wasn't I invited? And I'm like, oh my God, like, totally come if you want to come. It's just that it wasn't actually organised as a group thing. It's now just become a group thing. Yeah. So, I do just feel like communication, I feel like that's where girls go wrong. We get off at someone or something, we go about it to another friend, and it becomes a problem. Yeah. Whereas when you grow up, it's like, well, no, let's just speak. Let's speak to the person that's annoyed me or the person that's upset me. But that rejection thing.
Rejection's a massive thing.
Yeah, my biggest rejection was like my best mate of like 7 years from like high school. Like we were best friends for 7 years. One day, she just never spoke to me. So I was at her house. Obviously, something obviously went wrong. She lived in London, went to go visit her, had an amazing weekend. I thought it was an amazing weekend. Left. She didn't really speak to me in the morning I was leaving, and then I texted her when I got home as well, being like, oh, I'm home. Didn't hear a response from her. And we were the type of friends that would text every day, would FaceTime like a few times a week. We were like best friends. Just literally ghosted me. To this day. But it took me I like was sending her like messages like once a week, like honestly, like I've obviously done something to upset you. Please tell me what it is. I don't want to lose the friendship over it. Like I've obviously been a bit, like you really just get in your own head and you're like, I've obviously been a dick. Please tell me. Like, and I think now to this day, I think it was just that she obviously thought we were on different paths, and she obviously just decided we'd kind of, our era of friendship had ended. But to me, I'm always just like, just tell me. Yeah. Give me that side. Like, we've been friends for 7 years. Like, to this day, it would be nice if I'd got, you know what, looking back at how I ended our friend, like, if I got that message come through, I think it's kind of like the closure that you need, because she still views my things.
That's crazy that she's just
mad. Literally, to this day, completely ghosted. And I think I gave it 6 months of really trying to, like it maybe be a message a week, and then it went down to a message every 2 weeks, and maybe a message every month, a message every at least 6 months. Not 6 months, like 2 months. Yeah. 6 months in, I just thought okay, like we're done. But I really tried to like hold on to it, and I was like, that for me was bigger rejection than a guy's ever given me. I think.
It's such a rejection, and it's just like asking yourself where you fit in. Like, if you don't fit in with this friendship group, or this person doesn't like you, like, where do I fit in? And it's so easy to feel like a reject. Yeah, you know,
like feel like an absolute reject. But then you also feel, because I'm such a self-reflective person, and I do think I'm a nice person, it leaves you feeling like a, because you just think, I've obviously been.
Yeah, but no.
Well, when you reflect, you actually are just like, well, no, they're choosing not to be friends, and just because they're not mature enough to actually just have a conversation with you, to be like, look, like, we're just not, you know what I mean? We just don't vibe the same we do. But they just like make it toxic and leave, or that you found out that they've said something to someone else, so then you just like, and then you get angry because it's like, well, why didn't you just tell me that? Like,
exactly.
But yeah, I do just think I was never built for big girl groups.
No, but I don't think we're supposed to be like that, because they are such a toxic place. But I don't know. I think toxic friendships, it's in so many different ways that it can manifest itself. Like I said, like even when it comes to guys, like have you ever had a friend that, you know, they get a boyfriend and
and then they like basically don't see you anymore.
I had a best friend, and we met at work, and we became really, really close, and it was so nice. Like I used to go around to her house all the time. Like when I was splitting up with my ex, like she was there for me. We just clicked, and it was so lovely. And then as I split up with my ex, so like maybe a few weeks down the line, when I was still in like proper heartbreak phase, she got a boyfriend, and I'd be like, so are we doing this? Are we doing that? And she would just never make plans with me, anything. And
it's when you see the signs of them backing off, and you're like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah. And I mean, her and this guy have broken up now, and she kind of always says like, oh yeah, and she, you know, Ellie just ditched me because I got a boy. And it's like, no, I didn't. Like you did not want to make time for me. And I just think, I mean, and I've been the girl as well that has ditched her friends a bit because I've had a boyfriend and the relationship's been toxic. And I think we've said this before, but you always need your friends.
You always do, yeah. And me and my ex breaking up made me really realize how important good friends are. Like really good friends, and like I will hold on to them for like life now. And even if I ever got with anyone, I was dating someone like I was dating like we've been doing something like every Friday, and my mate invited me out on a Friday, and I nearly caught myself being like, oh no, because I'll be doing something. And I thought, no. I was like, nah, you've always got to do things with your friends. If your friends asked you, go do it. If the guy likes you, he'll wait.
Exactly.
So I do think like you do need to put like as much effort into your friends as you expect it. Like if you expect that effort.
Yeah. But and don't be shocked if, you know, you then start neglecting your friendship and you lose that friendship. I think that is a situation where it's completely justified for someone to back off from a friendship, but to just back off because of nothing, I think is just ridiculous, and it can really affect
think why
people.
I like back to the whole friendship group thing. I'm not a two-faced person. I feel like I say what I think.
Yeah.
Because I as well, like I hate one of my biggest things as well is finding out that someone's been bitching about me. I hate it. I hate it. Like with a passion, because I just think, just tell me.
Yeah.
I'm thick-skinned. I can take it. Like if you have something to say, if I pissed you off in that moment, tell me I pissed you off.
Yeah.
We can be mature and talk about it. So I am someone that's always not been two-faced, and I will say things in a friendship group. Like, and when people about other people, I will say, well, are you going to say this to their face? And if I do say something to that person, I always say, but I will say this to their face. I think people don't like that. People don't like the truth.
No.
Because I am truthful. And especially when they come to you for advice and they don't like your advice, and then you hear that they're bitched about you and your advice to someone else, and you just think, just say it to my face. And I think girls are very scared of confrontation and very scared of like telling the truth to people's face, and that's where this whole bitchy world comes in.
Yeah, I agree.
And I couldn't just never cope with that, so I always back off from girls.
I think that's what you said. Like with big friendship groups, you're bound to get those little factions I don't know, factions where you kind of branch off and you create
group chats are getting made from group chats because they're talking about different things, and they don't want that one to know, like,
that's why I'm so happy now that I have like I have multiple little friendship groups which are all separate from each other, and no one talks about each other. If we've got a problem with each other, like exactly, and you have little arguments. Like people are not meant to just be harmonious all the time. It's only like
you would argue with a guy.
Yeah, and you're
gonna disagree with your friends sometimes.
It's so healthy to have those discussions, and
that's why I feel like the friendship world is toxic, because it is like, well, if you fall out with your friend, that's it. And it's like, well, no, because if you fell out with your boyfriend, that wouldn't be it. You'd sort it out. So I do, but some people are like, oh no, she pissed me off, like I'm done with her. And it's like, well, why can't we talk about it? Like let's just like, okay, I pissed you off. Tell me why I off. We'll have a conversation about it. I'll apologise. We'll move on.
At what point do you think that it's time to maybe cut out a friend on your side? Like
on my side. So I have cut off one friendship before, and I was younger at the time. I didn't do it in the right way, and I did actually message this person a year later after, because it was kind of karma in a way, because I kind of ended the friendship with her, and then the friend that I just spoke about, how she just ghosted me. Basically, that's what I did to this girl, because at the time I was like, I can't be friends with her anymore. I don't really know how to be like, I don't want to be your friend. So I kind of just ghosted her. And then that happened to me.
Yeah.
So I actually was like, you know what, this was my karma, and it's really not nice. Because you owe that person an explanation. So I did actually message them a year later being like, I'm not saying like we're going to be friends again. I'm not saying like I'm trying to open that up. I'm just giving you an explanation, and I want to apologise for the way I ghosted you, because we were best friends at the time.
Yeah.
And I was, so I'm sorry for that. But yeah, basically this person, it just got to the point where it was a them show.
Yeah.
And it to the point where never asked me about me.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a friendship where I felt like it was even confiding problems, telling each other about things. It was very much like she picked up the phone at every little minor inconvenience, and I was kind of like, I need to get on with my day. She'd be to the point where I should be ringing.
I have a life to live.
Like 5 times a day ringing me over things, and it'd be like, well, what should I say? And should I say this? And wanting me to like script things out for her, and
write in your friends' messages.
Yeah, and like
to guys.
You don't mind when it's your friend, but then that on top of other things, and then on the top of that as well, she'd use me for nights out to go and cheat on a boyfriend, because she was wanting to see this guy. Couldn't go out on her own, so she'd bring me out, then ditch me all night because she'd be with this guy, and I was only going out with her to be the alibi for. And the one thing that what finished it off for me was she came to visit me my first weekend of uni. And was like, she sold the whole, oh, it's your first weekend of uni, I really want to be there for you. I want to help you settle in. I want, like, did all that. First night out, was like, can we go here? I was new to the city. I was like, I'll go anywhere. Went out, this guy was out.
What, that she wanted to see?
Yeah.
Oh,
and I was
annoying.
like, straight away, I was like, you've come up, used me for like just accommodation to get with this guy all weekend. So she didn't see me all night in the club. I had to ring another mate actually and be like, please will you come here, because I'm stood here on my own. I've got no friends in this city.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to bump into anyone I know. So, and then the next night, me and the friend that actually came to meet me was like, okay, we're going here tonight. She was from the get-go like, I don't want to go there. Not my vibe, because this guy obviously wasn't going to be there. And we were like, my friend was like, at the time, because I'm such a pushover with my friends sometimes, and like, she was just like, no, we're going there. When she hated every minute of it, made it very apparent she hated every minute of it. Every minute of like, said she wanted to go. Then some guy started giving her attention. So she suddenly loved it. Left with this guy. Me and my friend, the club had closed, but we were like, she'd never messaged us where she'd gone. We obviously knew she left with this guy, but so we were stood outside in the freezing cold for about an hour. It was raining as well. I was very much like, the other person was like, she'll find a way home, it's fine. But I was very much like, no, we're staying here. I rang her about 100 times. I was like, I'm not going, because this is where I've left her. So I don't want, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but as you should.
Like, she's gone off with someone, but I don't know if she's coming back. She wasn't answering my calls. My friend was like, at this point, let's just go into McDonald's. We'll have McDonald's. It's next to the place. If she turns up, 3 hours later, she rings me up. You left me. I've been in the streets of Manchester for 3 hours trying to find you. I was like, well, you haven't, because if you look at your phone, you've got about 150 missed calls off me. I'm literally in the McDonald's next to the club. I've not even gone home. I'm literally waiting for you. And I just thought, at this point, this is too much drama for me. So that's why I was just like, I can't be friends with you anymore.
God, that is so much drama.
Yeah, she was a drama character, and I think I actually let the friendship go on longer than it should have done.
Yeah,
but
I think as soon as someone is making you feel something negative, like on a regular basis, or it's not actually enriching your life anymore, having this friendship.
It was actually like a burden. The friendship became a burden, but I was just too scared to be like, I don't want to be your friend. So, like, because it is an awkward conversation to have.
Yeah.
Like, how do you tell someone, actually, we're just not vibing? Because most of the time, I think friendships fizzle out.
Yeah.
And both kind of naturally let it fizzle out. But when it is that someone is actually really wanting to be your friend and you really don't want to be there,
yeah, that's a bit of an awkward one.
It is very, and I've obviously been on both sides of that. So it really does hurt. But I think if you handle it the right way,
yeah, it's all about honesty and transparency, and that's all you can do, because you can't go through life. Life is too short to have relationships that don't serve a purpose in your life, that don't make you feel better, don't make your life better, and actually make things worse for you. I think that's
all I can say now to anyone that is listening. Like, your friends, because I've got real friends now, and kind of like you, like they're all in different groups, and I actually feel like that works when you've got good friends, but they're all from different places. Your friends should be like your biggest fans, biggest supporters. You ring them up with a problem, they drop everything. Whatever they're doing, they drop it and they listen to you.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, do that 5 times a day to them. I'm saying when it really matters,
they'll be there.
They're there for you. And you just know. And I just feel like if someone's not giving you that, if someone's making you feel weird, insecure, they're not giving you that energy,
that's toxic.
It's toxic, and to be honest, you do need to cut it out, because it does only affect you.
Yeah. And
in a way, and it's part of growing up, and I feel like you have to have these toxic friendships to learn the lessons and this and that, and
you do, and it's important, but it's just so important as well to just never ever put it on yourself. Like, obviously in this conversation today, you've been saying a lot like, well, I kind of changed the way I am with new friends because I'm scared about what's happened with old friends, but you should never ever have to change who you are. And
it's even just like when you hear that your friends have been like, oh, what was she wearing? And did you see how she was acting? It's like, you're my mate. Just say, like, well, then I just think, like, I would always, like, whatever outfit my mate showed up in, I'd be hyping it up. I'd be like, sick.
They could show up in, like, a bin
I
bag.
Like it for you, it really doesn't matter. So that's what I mean. Like, your real friends don't care.
Yeah, and you'll know when you've got a real friend.
And keep on to them. Keep hold of them.
Absolutely, like, so important. 100%. 100%.
Shall we? We've had some people writing about their toxic.
Let's go for it. Let's hear some stories.
For it? Let's hear some stories and see. So let's have a little look. Okay, so this person's put, my best friend was annoyed at me because I was pregnant at the same time as her, due 3 weeks apart, and had our babies 5 days apart. She didn't want to share the limelight, even though we have different friendship groups. Like, what was I supposed to do?
That is ridiculous.
Some of these are just going to be so ridiculous.
That's what I mean, though. Like, some friendships can, like, what? Who is friends with that girl?
That's what I mean.
Oh, you can't have your baby?
Like, what, you're pregnant at the same time as me? Like,
how rude. We had on the same day.
Yeah, like, whereas that's what I mean, and that's when you know when it's a good friend, because if my mate,
I'd be buzzing.
If I knew I was pregnant, my mate said, I'd be like, oh my god, we can do so many things together.
Absolutely.
We can, like, so again, that just must come from an insecurity of maybe she doesn't always get the limelight.
She doesn't, she wants
so maybe
attention.
she was just really wanting her moment, but then I just think again, like, if it was your real mate, you'd be happy. You'd be happy
no matter what. Like,
no matter what. So I do feel like
I can't believe that. That's
crazy.
That is horrendous.
That is like pettiness. I feel like a lot of these are going to be petty, but this is what I mean. Girls can be petty.
Okay, I've got a story here.
Go on.
I feel like I haven't read it yet, so I'm just going to be reading it at the same time as you guys are hearing it. So a girl's messaged me saying, basically, was dating this guy I worked with. Already a fail. Don't where you eat. I mean, yeah. Wait, me and you, the same girl. And we'd been on lots of dates and we were really into each other, hung out loads, he met my family, etc., etc. Then one day, my best friend started acting suspicious. Cancels plans, hides her phone. He then started to ghost me, ignore my messages, didn't seem enthusiastic and want to hang out. She would comfort me when I got upset over the situation. I left that place of work to avoid him. A few weeks pass and she texts me to tell me they are in a relationship.
What?
They are now married with a child. Also safe to say I don't speak to her either.
Thing is, half of me's like, okay, well, maybe that person wasn't for you, and if they're married with a child now, that was obviously their love story. But then at the same time, she's
I agree. Yeah, it's not right. Like we said earlier, if your friend's got dibs. Like, if they've got dibs, they've got dibs. And you shouldn't, if you're a real friend and that's a real friendship, you should not be looking at the person that they're seeing, that they're in a situationship with and thinking, I'm going to ruin that.
And if it was the case, and I know conversations are difficult and can be difficult, but say if you were dating a guy, right? You're dating a guy, he suddenly starts showing interest in me. First, No,
you're gonna say something.
On what I'm even about to say, because I'd probably just come to you and out the guy.
But that's the thing.
Like, I've got your back, the cheek of him. But say, for example, I was like, you know what? If Ellie want dating him, I like him. And I really want in it. I mean, the thing is, if I came to you with this, I am risking the friendship. You have every right to now not be my friend.
Yeah,
well, it is worth the. You go to your friend, and I'd be like, look, Ellie, he's messaged me. Obviously, one, I've got to tell you that because you're dating him, and it's not right. But two, I would potentially go there. What do you feel about it? Could we carry on the friendship if I did go there? But it's always worth conversation.
It's always worth communication.
But that would never be my reaction.
I think, exactly. I think that is exactly that. I would never have an attraction to someone that was dating my friend. But at the same time, I think, the communication there, and it's the fact that she's carried on, you know, seeing a friend and comforting her over this guy that she's crying over, when really she's the reason she's crying, because you know, she's seen him behind her back. I think that's just a terrible, terrible friend.
It's a bit much, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have another one?
Yeah, so toxic friendship.
Ooh.
She acted like my mum more than my own mum, and always took the piss when other people were about. She also used to be so controlling, telling me who I can and can't be friends with, and slagging everyone off to me if she didn't like them. That gives me like controlling relationship vibes.
And friends can be
so
like
she's
that.
Acting like your mum. She's like, you can hang out with them, can't hang out with them. I don't like them, so you can't hang out with them. That's toxic.
Yeah.
And girls are like that. They're kind of like, well, I don't like them, so I'm not going to be friends with you.
You talk to them. I get if someone has really wronged you, like you've had, like they've literally like knocked you out or something, and then your best friend's like, oh yeah, I love them, off shopping with them. I get that, but if you just don't like them, I think, you know, get over it at the end of the day. And it's another thing there is when she said that she when other people are around, like that's such a toxic thing. And I've had friends like that would kind of ridicule you in front of people, you know, to big themselves up and to make you look silly. And that is the worst type of friend.
That before, and it
gets to you.
It gets to you, but I always let it slip. And again, I think it comes from the thing of like, people think I'm loud, opinionated, and I'm not two-faced, so I either think, right, you just don't say it to anyone, you hold it in, or you say it. But then I always just have this thing at the back of my head, saying something I'm going to risk losing a friendship, just because that's happened to me in the past.
Sometimes you need to lose
it. But it's getting to the point where this person, because it's a current thing.
Okay.
Like, not like one of my best friends, but like whenever I'm always like around, they like dig me out and try and make me look stupid with things I say.
Yeah.
And I've always bit my tongue with it, but you know when someone just does it one too many times?
It's jealousy and insecurity. That is exactly what that is.
Why are you trying to make me look like a dick now?
It's such a telltale sign of a bad friend and an insecure girl. And, you know, we can just hope that she finds a way to improve that in the future. Yeah. But I think for now, if that was me, I would cut her out.
Yeah. And it is just a case now of like, I can't even be bothered with the drama now. It is just more of like, we don't vibe, we're not on the same energy. Like, cut out. Like we say, be honest and open. Like, if like they come to you and be like, well, why have you cut me out? I'll explain it happily. But I'm very much just like, I don't want drama. 25 now. I've done the whole toxic drama friendship thing. Like, if we're not vibing, if we're not on the same energy, if you're giving me the like bad toxic vibes, I'm just taking a step back.
Absolutely. I think that's the way to be. We're mature now. We're grown up.
We're mature. Have you got any more stories?
I don't think I do, you know. I don't think I have any more. I feel like we have a lot of the ones I got were kind of the same, that it was a best friend that was dating a new, like their boyfriend or dating the guy that they were into, and it just, gave me bad vibes. Have you got one more? Oh, come on, tell us.
That I do want to share, because I feel like a lot of girls will have gone through this, and kind of similar to my situation. So basically, one of her friends just kind of started ghosting her, and she was trying so hard to meet up with her, and she said she sent her a birthday present, and then they were on FaceTime about a month later, and she actually brought up the whole like, oh, did you get your gift? Because she was panicking that she didn't get it.
Yeah.
And this girl was literally like, oh yeah, I did. And she just never said thank you, nothing. But she was obviously trying to like ghost her and things. So she said that really upset her. And then she said after that FaceTime, she never spoke to me again.
What was the gift?
I don't know what she never said what the gift was, but basically she said, she was like, you know, when you're just really trying with someone, and ghosting and ghosting and ghosting you, and then she said this whole gift thing, just like sparked her. Yeah, we're done.
Wow, that's an ungrateful friend.
And I think it will have been because the friend probably was like, oh, like the cheek of her saying, did I get the gift?
Yeah.
But it's a bit like, well, yeah, if I send my mate a gift and they never ever say,
address it, say thank you.
Like, oh, I received the gift.
That's rude. Some people
you
are
would
just
panic
rude.
thinking that they didn't get the gift. So you wouldn't bring it up being like, you didn't say thank you for the gift. It would be more like, did you actually get the gift? But yeah, girls are so weird and petty.
Girls are weird. We are weird.
Oh, we are weird. When I say girls, I'm including myself. I'm not like...
I think the thing is, though, the one thing to take away from this is, like, if you're in, I don't know, if you're just in a toxic situation right now, or, you know, if you're at the school, college age and you're going through the things that we've said, like, one day it won't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Yeah. And you think it's the world right now.
And you think you're a loser, you think no one's going to like you, but look at us. Yeah. You know,
there's always someone out there for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And like when, because I do feel like you take it so personally when you're younger as well. And if you are younger listening to this, you meet so many people along the way of life. I moved to Dubai last year for a bit. I've got friends in Dubai.
Yeah.
I've got friends from repping in Malia from all over the UK. And it's just really nice. Like, honestly, there's always someone you're going to meet. You're always going to have a friend. And sometimes you do need time to reflect and not have as many friends. Sometimes you have loads of friends. Like, it's just life. It's just like dating. You win some, you lose some. But just try not take it too personally, which is a lot easier said than done, because we've all been there. But take it personally.
The drama that's happening right now is going to be so insignificant in 5 years. 2 years. Yeah. So just I don't know.
Live in the present, enjoy the moment. Try, if you are really low with your friends right now, just know that it does get better.
It does. And you are so worthy of friendship. Like, I look at younger me and I just wish I could give her a hug and just say, like, it's going to be absolutely fine. And I wish I could just give whoever's watching this or listening to this a hug and just say, you're going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Like,
and people are going to like you for you.
100%.
So if the people that don't like you for you right now, they're just not the ones for you. It's just like a guy as well. If they don't like you for you, they're not the ones for you. But yeah, amazing. Well, that's been Getting Over It Toxic Friendships edition.
I've loved it. I hope you've taken a lot away from it. And obviously we'll be back here next week and we'll be chatting all about a new topic.
But yeah, make sure you get us on our socials, Getting Over It Pod on Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.